I grew up in the Midwest, and I always wanted to be on stage. I was always the ham in every picture. I was always putting on shows for my relatives, singing in church. I remember when I got to middle school, they had a class called acting. So I signed up for acting and loved it. And then when I got to high school, they actually had productions. And the very first production was a musical. And it was on stage, so I tried out. And as a sophomore, first year high school student, I got the lead. And it really made some of the seniors quite angry, I think, but I was thrilled. And then from there, the choir teacher recruited me. I took voice lessons, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I knew that I wanted to be a voice major, but even maybe more importantly, I knew that I had a passion for teaching. So I studied with a world famous pedagogue, Barbara Doscher, and she is an author of wonderful pedagogy books. And then her mentor, Burton Coffin, I studied with him for a time, and they both instilled in me a love of listening and breaking apart sound, getting under the hood of a voice and seeing what works, what doesn't work, and trying different ideas, different techniques if the first didn't work. So that's where I think I got my passion for teaching, and that's what I really, really love to do. Well, I'm rooted, again, in a very pedagogical background. But I think that I've morphed through the years. I read voraciously a lot of different books, and I also feel that it's very, very important to bring out the musical aspect of the singing. So I would like to think that I'm able to build a voice, and within that, the singer gains more confidence when they know what's going to come out, and then also working on the musical aspects, the linguistic aspects, and let's face it, we're coaches as well, and in that I mean we have to be cheering our students on and building their confidence. So that's what I try to do in my studio. I try to make it very positive. I'm not, I think you could get more flies with honey. So I try to keep a very positive attitude in the studio, and that seems to work. I believe we're at about 45 right now. We have a wonderful graduate program, but we're undergraduate driven. So the wonderful thing about Lamont for your education is if you are an undergraduate person, you're likely to get stage time. And I think Lamont has something unique in that we are big enough to do great things, but we're small enough to have a personal connection with every student. The faculty knows everyone's name. The classes are small. It's a very friendly attitude. I get along with my colleagues beautifully. We all do. And therefore, we want the best for the students. Our highest goal is the highest good of each singer, student in our department. So, for instance, if a student gets to the university and let's say they want to switch teachers, which doesn't happen often, but it can happen in an undergraduate or graduate situation, we welcome them to do that if that's what they so desire, without any repercussions. So it's a very positive atmosphere, and oftentimes when a student auditions and then ends up coming to Lamont, I'll say, when I see him in the fall, what made you decide eventually on Lamont? And they'll say, boy, I just loved the feel. I loved the attitude, the warmth from the moment I walked in the building to audition, and everyone welcomed me, and the voice faculty was so welcoming. So that's something that I feel we're known for and we really strive to do. So we have the women's choir, we have the men's choir, chorale, which is a mixed choir, and we also have the heritage chorale, which is a wonderful musical experience. The opera program is directed by Matt Plank, and Sahar Nouri is our musical director of the opera. We do one major production a year, and then we do a gala in the fall, snippets of operas and scenes and solos with orchestra. And this is a wonderful opportunity because, think about it, there are many operas that could not be realistically done at a university level. They may be too heavy for the singers, too much. But with a gala, we can do some of those beautiful pieces and ensembles and just pull out select numbers. So this has been very popular with our audiences and the students alike. So you are cast in an ensemble, and there are various meeting times for the various ensembles. You have a weekly voice lesson, which is 1 hour long with your applied teacher. You would be taking performance class on Fridays where you perform for your colleagues. And interestingly, we have something that has really been fun. You are critiqued and evaluated by a teacher other than your own. So you get some different perspectives on your performing other than just your studio teacher. You also have opera 3 days a week where you are rehearsing for the production at hand. You'll be taking theory, musicology, and then of course your university courses. You'll be taking diction lessons, Italian, French, German, and English. And I think that about covers the week for a voice major. There are becoming more and more. We have so many musical theater houses where young singers get great mileage singing in musical theater. And of course, musical theater and classical music or opera are merging a little bit more and more. Many opera houses are incorporating musical theater into their roster. So that's one opportunity. We have Opera Colorado, which is our opera house in the Denver area. Central City Opera, a number of our voice majors have been apprentices or young artists at Central City Opera. We have Opera Steamboat, and they also have a young artist program and apprenticeship program. A number of our students have been there. There are a number of smaller organizations that you hear students being hired to participate in, and many church jobs and some synagogue jobs as well, so that young singers can actually make a living in their field. Also, many small schools where, say, junior high, or I guess say middle school now, middle school and high school students can take voice lessons, instrumental lessons, and a number of our students work in those little conservatories, teaching and getting experience and being paid at the same time. Denver is a thriving city, number one. You're planting yourself in a thriving city, artistically and economically, and also the weather is wonderful. We have 325 days of sunshine. I love my job. I love my colleagues. We have a fantastic director in Mr. Keith Ward, and he has worked so hard for this institution. Again, we care about the highest good for all of the students, and we are having a lot of success with our singers. We've had students that have performed with Des Moines Metro, St. Louis Opera Theater, Vocal Arts Academy in Philadelphia, the Marilla program, the Bastille in Paris, the Met. These are all former singers, and those are just a few that I can think of. But these are singers in recent years. That's pretty important. It shows you the success of what we're doing as a team in the voice department.